It was really, really cool having Aaron like become part of our team and like become the leader of our team like so fast. It was crazy. Like during practice, like he'd be coaching up at every position group, like whether it was an O-line, running backs, receivers, like tell them how he wants them to run routes. Like we're in walkthrough and like he's picking up blitzes. He's watching, making sure that everyone picks up their blitz correctly, and then he's like gonna no look throw the ball. And like I know it's walkthrough, but at the same time, like how can he like have that? How can he?
With you being now kind of exposed to Aaron Rodgers and during that time, what are some lessons that you took from one of the greatest quarterbacks to play the game? As you just saw his preparation, how he led the team. Obviously, you know, he sustained the injury in the first game, but curious just what you learned from him as a leader.
It was really, really cool having Aaron like become part of our team and like become the leader of our team like so fast. I mean, talk about a guy I've watched play since I was in middle school. One of the best quarterbacks ever play, 3-time MVP, you know, won a Super Bowl before, and just like one of the best talents ever played his game. And, you know, when you, as a competitor, you want to be around someone like that. You want to learn, like, how did they get there? How did he become the MVP? How is he so meticulous and so detailed? Like, what drives him? All that kind of stuff. So I'm just trying to soak up as much information from him that I can and as much skills as him from I can. Like, first of all, just like his details. Like, he's extremely detailed. Talk about a guy who's year 19 and he's in the weight room doing everything on the card. You know, sometimes when you're in the weight room in the NFL, you're tired after a lift. Not everyone's doing everything on the card. He's doing everything to a detail on the card.
Really?
And then finishing the rest of his work. And his nutrition is great. Pretty sure he has his own trainer that's with him at all times, like taking care of his body. Like just seeing that kind of work. But like some of the coolest things about him that I really enjoyed was how good of a teammate he was. Like trying to get to know all of his teammates. You know, year 19 in the league, established veteran, one of the best to ever do it. Like, you wouldn't expect a guy like that to be over the locker room, like trying to get to know new guys, sitting with new guys at lunch or breakfast every day, really trying to like build that team connection. And he really made an effort that he was really trying to get to know people, have people get to know him. That was a huge impact on me, you know, because sometimes in the league, like it's tough. Like, you know, guys get cut, traded. You never know who's really going to be there sometimes. It's hard to build those relationships, but, you know, just screw that. Like, get to know new guys, meet new guys, like learn from them. Really trying to make it a family-like atmosphere. And I really respected that, and I really liked that from him because that wasn't something I thought I was going to learn from him right away. And he made that a big importance, and I thought, you know, that's why a lot of guys loved him right away, and they respected him right away because he didn't come in like, hey, I'm Aaron Rodgers. Like, he came in like, hey, I'm y'all's teammate, and I'm here for you.
Right.
And he's been open to everyone. Anyone ask him a question, he's coaching them up. It was crazy. Like during practice, like he'd be coaching up at every position group. Like whether it was an O-line, running backs, receivers, like tell them how he wants them to run routes, or like that kind of stuff was just wild to me. Like it was just like just seeing him operate was just so cool. I was like, I would text my friends after practice. I'd be like, "Hey, man, like this has to be what it's like to like be watching MJ or LeBron in practice." Like it was kind of like that. Like we're in walkthrough and like he's picking up blitzes. He's watching, making sure that everyone picks up their blitz correctly, and then he's like gonna no look throw the ball. And like I know it's walkthrough, but at the same time, like how can he like have that? How can he compartmentalize everything to make sure his teammates are blocking it right? He has a right read, and then just like to throw the ball without even looking perfectly on a go route, like that kind of stuff was just absolutely wild.
For sure, bro. I remember there was one game I was watching last year, and it was like a final drive, and the Packers were going down to win the game. I don't remember which game it was, but I remember I was just watching from home, and Aaron had like clear recognition of the situation of the game clock, the play clock, and he was also like calling the plays at the line. You know, I think it was maybe like a 2-minute drill or something. And then, you know, he's making the reads, like he's making the right pass, you know, making the right read, like after the ball is snapped, you know, then banging the timeout and understanding, you know, the clock, and just has this understanding. And very similar to how I've seen Tom Brady too. Just like, you know, it's just a next level understanding of the game. Crazy. And I can only imagine like what that feels like also in practice too.
Yeah, I'm as a defensive lineman, like I don't feel like I have the level of knowledge that he has as a quarterback to understand the game and everything. But just to like hear the checks he's making at the line, like just everything he's doing within like 15 seconds is like insane. Like the check, like some of our like receivers say, like it feels like he's playing Madden sometimes with the hot routes he's making and everything. I'm like, that kind of stuff, like to have that knowledge and have your brain working that fast, like I don't think people understand how intelligent you have to be and innovative and creative you have to be able to pick that up on the go in 15 seconds, just seeing the defense, analyzing it, like hearing the call, seeing who's moving, who might be blitzing, where the coverage might be, and fixing everything in like with 10 seconds and commanding a whole offense to understand it all at one time as well.
Right, yeah. Yeah, no, and I feel like that's something that, people have a good understanding about Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
He's obviously a great football player. I do think that this time with the Jets, he's been portrayed differently in a better light, in a more positive light than the media had portrayed him before. And they've also heard that, guys on the team are surprised because they didn't expect him to be such a great teammate or so open or so vocal. So I think, I think that's, obviously good for him, but also good for the team, even without him now, like, because that type of high performance, that, iron sharpens iron, like, it's so true. And being around that high performance is contagious to the rest of the team. To see that detail orientation of that, that guy, the success that he's had, then you pick up little behaviors, right? And then the next guy sees you, being so detail oriented, so then he does it, right? And then this is compound effect throughout a team, that I think is really, really cool.
Yeah, no, it was it was kind of crazy, like the impact he had, like this last weekend. Like he tore his Achilles, he's been out, and it's been devastating. Like, because like we got to see how hard he works and the work he put in just to have him tear his Achilles the first series of our first game, like, was devastating to us as a team and devastating to him as a human being and a competitor. Like he wants us just as much as anyone else. Like the detail and the work he puts in, like our hearts were broken for him. But he was able to make it back to the game this Sunday night. And the night before, he came and surprised us in a team meeting and gave us a little pump up speech and just to see him having the building, like, gave everyone a little extra juice, like the leader he is, and in the short amount of time he's been here, that's the kind of impact he's made. Just giving us that juice, that life, and the words of advice. Like it was really cool to have that happen, like just that quickly. Yeah,
no, for sure. To bounce back like that and still, because that was like my biggest thought. My first thought is having experienced injuries. When I saw his injury, I was like, damn, bro, I bet he like almost feels, not that it's his fault, but like feels bad. Like he's not even like a victim of this situation. He feels like, because how I felt in the past is like, damn, I'm letting so many people down because I got hurt. And I've never, I'm not a quarterback. I'm, not one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game. I didn't just come to a new team. There wasn't all this hype that was built up, and I've still felt that way. And I think that's just the competitor in us. You're like, damn, I want to be on the field with my team. My family's watching. I want to be able to do it. Like my trainers, I've been working with my team. Like I want to be out there to perform for them. And that was the first thing that I felt when I saw his injuries. I wonder if those feelings are the feelings that he's having and being empathetic. But fast forward now, a few weeks after the injury, and to see that he's in the locker room, he's coming to the meeting room before the game, like, giving you guys that speech, they're so powerful. And I think there's so much to learn, from a guy like that and that experience, that he's able to be so resilient, and bounce back.
No, to see that strength that he had to be able to do that, like, just, I think he said it was 18 days out of surgery, because I tore my ACL in 2020, and that's a hard injury, and it was coming off a year that I was like I kind of had similar feelings that you were talking about. I was coming up a year, like, it was a COVID year. I was getting a chance to start, won a starting job, was a leader for the team. And I was like, dang, like I have a chance to like really help the team out and like, have my year, but also like be there for my teammates. So when I tore my knee, I was obviously devastated for the year I thought I was going to have, devastated, like couldn't be there for my teammates, couldn't be there in the locker room, all that kind of stuff. But then like 18 days after surgery, after my ACL, there's no way that I felt like I had the strength to go to go back and give my team a speech. Like, not the saying that I would be doing that, but just to even go be around the team, because I was just so devastated. Like, my year is gone, my year with my teammates is gone. I have to do all this recovery. it definitely takes a big mental toll going through that. So to see that he had that mental resiliency and strength to come back, fly from LA 18 days after surgery to come be with us, like that meant a lot, and just shows like where his heart is at and like who he is as a teammate and a competitor.
Yeah, without a doubt, man.